Everyone's journey is different. You were never meant to walk someone else's path, and the moment you start comparing, you begin to lose your way. The truth is, your purpose isn't found by watching others, it's found in the quiet steps you take every day, even when no one is watching. There will be distractions. People will doubt you. Some may even laugh at your dreams, but their opinions are not your compass. Your path is yours to walk, stumble, learn, and rise again. The more you focus on what others are doing, the more you drift from where you're supposed to be. Greatness doesn't come from copying. It comes from being bold enough to be original. Stay consistent, stay focused, and when you fall, because you will get back up with even more clarity and strength. The journey is long, but it's yours. Own it. Walk it with courage, and never let comparison steal what's already meant for you. Comparison is one of the most subtle but powerful distractions that can take you off the path meant for you. It starts small. Maybe you see someone achieving success faster, or living a life that seems more exciting, more fulfilled, more celebrated. In those moments, doubt creeps in. You begin to question your journey, your pace, your choices. You start looking sideways instead of forward, and that shift in attention, though it may feel harmless at first, can slowly erode your focus and self-belief. The problem with comparison is that it blinds you to context. You only see the highlights of someone else's life, the victories and polished outcomes, not the silent battles, the failures, or the sleepless nights behind them. You see the fruit, but not the soil it grew from. And when you measure your beginning against someone else's middle, or your struggle against their celebration, you start believing you're behind, that you're not good enough, fast enough, or talented enough. That belief becomes a weight, slowing you down even more. When you fix your eyes on others, you lose sight of what makes your own path unique. You forget that your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. It's shaped by your experiences, your pain, your purpose, and your timing. And often the path that looks ordinary from the outside is preparing something extraordinary within. But that can only unfold if you stay committed to it. Comparison also breeds impatience. Instead of trusting the process and embracing your growth, you begin to rush. You try shortcuts. You make choices based on how they will look to others, not how they align with your values. The more you chase validation, the more disconnected you become from your own sense of direction. True fulfillment comes from running your race, not winning someone else's. When you focus on your path, you give yourself the space to grow authentically. You build something that lasts, not because it's trendy or admired, but because it's deeply rooted in who you are. And that kind of success, the kind that's earned through discipline, integrity, and patience, cannot be shaken. It's okay to feel inspired by others, but never let inspiration turn into imitation. There's only one of you, and what you bring into this world cannot be replaced or replicated. Focus on your journey, trust its timing, and silence the noise around you. The world needs your story, not your version of someone else's. Your path is designed for you and you alone. That truth, though simple, holds profound power. No one else has lived your exact life with your challenges, your gifts, your dreams, or your perspective. And because of that, no one else can fully understand the purpose embedded in your journey. We often forget this when we feel pressure to conform, to fit in, or to meet expectations laid out by others. But your path isn't a public highway. It's a personal road, and it's not meant to be walked by anyone else. We live in a world where everyone wants to give advice, where everyone seems to have an opinion on what success should look like or how life should unfold. But those opinions, no matter how loud or well intentioned, are not your truth. Only you can determine what direction your life should take, and that direction isn't always going to be clear or easy. In fact, it often requires you to walk alone, to make hard choices, and to keep moving even when no one understands where you're going or why. The danger in letting others define your path is that you begin to live someone else's version of success. You start choosing goals that don't satisfy you. You chase achievements that look good from the outside but feel empty inside. And over time, this disconnect grows. It steals your joy, your creativity, and eventually your sense of purpose. When you honor your path, you give yourself the freedom to grow in ways that are right for you at your pace, in your style, and according to your values. You stop seeking approval and start seeking alignment. You begin making decisions that bring peace, not just praise. And you realize that fulfillment doesn't come from reaching a destination faster. It comes from knowing you're headed in the direction that resonates deeply with who you are. It's not always easy. You may face resistance, especially from those who expect you to follow a more familiar route. People may question your choices, judge your timing, or doubt your vision, but that's okay. Their understanding is not required for you to keep going. What matters most is that you trust yourself enough to keep walking, even when the road is quiet, and the progress is invisible to everyone else. Your path is sacred. It's the space where your strength is forged, your voice is found, and your legacy is shaped. Protect it, nurture it, walk it with courage and conviction. Because in the end, the only life worth living is the one that's true to you. External opinions are everywhere loud, persistent, and often uninvited. From friends and family to strangers on social media, everyone seems to have something to say about how you should live your life. What career you should choose, who you should become, when you should succeed. But here's the truth. Those opinions, no matter how well meaning or confident they sound, are not your compass. They don't know the full story of your journey, and they can't feel the quiet pull of your purpose. Relying on external validation to guide your steps is like trying to navigate a storm with someone else's broken map. You may move, but you'll drift far from where you're meant to go. When you let others dictate your direction, you begin living reactively. You chase approval instead of progress. You begin to shape your choices around how they will be received, not whether they are right for you, and that comes at a high cost. Because while you might gain temporary praise or acceptance, you'll lose connection with your own intuition, the internal voice that knows who you truly are and what you're capable of. The danger of constantly seeking outside approval is that it becomes a habit, one that slowly strips away your independence. You become hesitant, uncertain, always second, guessing. You feel pressure to be perfect, to not disappoint, to fit into roles others have carved out for you. And in doing so, you risk forgetting what you truly value. You stop asking, "What do I want?" and instead ask, "What will they think?" That question becomes a cage, and it keeps you small. There's freedom in realizing that you don't owe anyone an explanation for your dreams. You don't need permission to pursue what lights you up, and you are not required to live up to someone else's version of success. The people who truly love you will support your journey even when they don't fully understand it. And those who don't, their approval was never meant to be the foundation of your life in the first place. True direction comes from within. It's the quiet knowing in your gut, the sense of peace you feel when you make a decision that aligns with your deeper values. It's not always loud or obvious, but it's trustworthy. And the more you tune out the noise of the world, the clearer that inner voice becomes. Choosing your own path takes courage. It means being okay with standing alone sometimes. It means facing criticism, confusion, and doubt not just from others, but from yourself. But it also means living with integrity. It means waking up each day knowing you're building something real, something meaningful, something that is truly yours. And that kind of life is worth every hard decision, every misunderstood choice, and every moment of doubt you had to push through. Progress isn't always visible. but that doesn't mean it's not happening. We live in a results-driven world that celebrates outcomes, milestones, and achievements. We're constantly bombarded with success stories, transformation highlights, and overnight wins. But what you rarely see is the process, the long hours, the silent struggles, the tiny steps taken in the dark before anyone noticed. And because progress often grows quietly, many people give up right before the breakthrough. They assume that if nothing dramatic is happening on the outside, then nothing meaningful is happening on the inside. But that's a lie. The truth is, real progress is often invisible. It's the discipline to show up when you're tired. It's the effort you put in when no one is watching. It's the hard decision you make that no one will ever applaud. It's the quiet healing, the slow rebuilding of confidence, the invisible rewiring of your mindset. These small, consistent actions are what create true, lasting change, not the grand gestures or public victories. There are seasons in life where you'll feel like you're stuck, standing still, or even moving backward. But just because you can't see the results yet doesn't mean you're not growing. Think of a seed underground. Nothing looks different on the surface for a long time, but below the soil there's movement. Roots are forming, foundations are being laid, and when the time is right, that seed breaks through with strength and purpose. Your journey is no different. One of the biggest mistakes we make is equating speed with success. We believe if things aren't happening quickly, we're failing, but speed is not the same as progress. Sometimes the most powerful growth is slow and steady. It's not flashy. It doesn't always come with applause. But it's real, and it's what builds resilience, depth, and character. Learning to trust your progress even when it's not visible is a skill. It requires patience and faith. It means celebrating your quiet victories the day you didn't quit, the moment you chose growth over comfort, the time you tried again after failing. These moments may not be obvious to the world, but they're the building blocks of your future. So don't underestimate the power of what you're doing just because no one is noticing. Don't stop just because the reward hasn't arrived yet. Keep going because every effort counts, every step adds up, and every day you choose discipline over doubt, you're becoming stronger, wiser, and closer to who you're meant to be. Progress is often invisible until it's undeniable. And when that day comes, you'll look back and realize that every silent, unseen effort was worth it. Keep going. Your breakthrough is building in the background. Obstacles are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They are often the clearest indicators that you're on the right one. Every meaningful journey is marked by resistance. The moment you decide to grow, to change, or to pursue something bigger than your current reality, you will face challenges, not because you're weak or unworthy, but because transformation always demands struggle. The path to becoming your best self is not smooth, and it's not supposed to be. Growth is forged in discomfort, in difficulty, and in moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. We often think that if something is hard, it must not be meant for us. That if obstacles keep showing up, maybe we've made the wrong choice, but that's not how progress works. Obstacles are not there to stop you, they're there to shape you. They test your commitment, they stretch your limits. They expose the parts of you that still need to grow, and they force you to develop the resilience, patience, and strength necessary to handle the success that lies ahead. Every challenge you face carries a lesson. Some obstacles teach you humility, others teach you strategy, some reveal the importance of persistence, while others expose the weaknesses in your foundation so you can strengthen them, but none of them are pointless. Even the delays, the failures, the heartbreaks, they serve a purpose. They may hurt, they may slow you down, but they also carve depth into your character and clarity into your purpose. What separates those who reach their goals from those who don't isn't the absence of obstacles, it's the ability to face them without losing sight of the bigger picture. You have to remember why you started. You have to remind yourself that nothing worthwhile ever comes without effort. You must learn to see the obstacle not as a wall, but as a doorway, a test asking, how badly do you want this? And every time you push through instead of turning back, you answer that question with action. It's also important to realize that overcoming obstacles doesn't always mean charging ahead with brute force. Sometimes it means pausing, reassessing, adjusting your strategy, or even shifting your mindset. Flexibility is just as important as persistence. You're not weak for taking a break. You're not a failure for needing help. Strength is not found in pretending everything is fine. It's found in refusing to give up when everything is not. In the end, the obstacles on your path will become the very things that define your story. Not the achievements, not the applause, but the struggles you overcame to get there. They will be your proof not just that you made it, but that you earned it. So don't curse the hard moments. Don't run from the uphill climbs. Embrace them because they are shaping you into someone capable of carrying the future you're fighting for. Consistency over perfection, this is one of the most powerful yet overlooked truths on any journey of growth. In a world obsessed with instant results and flawless execution, we forget that it's the small, repeated actions over time that truly create transformation. Perfection is an illusion, a moving target that always leaves you feeling behind. But consistency, that's real, that's sustainable, and that's where progress lies. You don't have to get everything right the first time. You don't need to have the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or perfect conditions. What you do need is the discipline to show up, especially on the days you don't feel like it. True growth isn't built in the moments of motivation. It's built in the quiet, boring, often uncomfortable moments of repetition. The early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices no one sees. That's where winners are made not because they were perfect, but because they refuse to quit. There will be days you mess up, days you feel off track, days when your effort feels invisible and your progress feels too slow. That's normal. What matters is not that you never fall, but that you always get back up. Because every time you show up again, even a little bit, you are building trust in yourself. And over time, that trust becomes unstoppable momentum. Perfection demands that you look flawless. Consistency asks only that you keep going. One focuses on how you appear, the other builds who you are. And the truth is, the most successful, fulfilled people in the world didn't reach greatness by being perfect, they got there by being consistent, by doing the work, by learning from failure, by choosing progress over pride, humility over ego, and resilience over excuses. You don't need to have it all figured out to take the next step. You just need to be willing, willing to stay the course, willing to grow in the shadows, willing to keep showing up for yourself even when no one else does. That's how you win. Asterisk, asterisk, and so I leave you with this. Asterisk, asterisk, don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to be perfect. Start where you are. Move with what you have. Stay consistent with your effort, even if it's small. Every day you show up is a statement to the world and to yourself that your path matters, that your dreams are real, and that no matter how slow it feels, you are becoming something greater than you were yesterday. Perfection may impress people, but consistency transforms lives. Let that be your power. Let that be your focus. Keep going. Your future is already waiting, and every step, no matter how small, is taking you there.